Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Intermountain West critics become insufferable about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
I made Adam laugh with that one.
Well, I mean, yes, considering the movie we did last week was Mother Mary, and that could be considered a bit insufferable until you go see it, and then you realize it's not.
It's absolutely not. And Adam,
No.
I need to warn you, you might sense some real tension between Brooks and I because he asked me to bring something to him that he had shipped to Jackson, and I forgot it. It's
I
still
know
up there.
we were publicly shaming you in the group chat. So.
Yep. I'm not proud of it. Brooks is mad at me. So
No.
if you pick up on the tension, that's what it's about.
Oh, he's gonna purposely go 100% against your rating for Grogu, so it balances
It's like
you
I
out.
said, that you had something I wanted, Billy had something I needed. So he won, and
I
that's
lose.
fine.
Okay, well, second place is better than last. Oh, wait, there were only two
But
of
if you're
us.
not first, you're last. So
Well, let's get right to it. You mentioned Grogu. This is episode 52 of the show, and we're only going to review that one film. The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out as we record this weekend, and it's one of the most hotly anticipated titles of the late spring, early summer, I would say. So we're going to give it its due and talk only about it. And our guilty pleasure, of course, will be based on that film, and it's Bad Puppets Edition. We love how Star Wars uses practical effects and puppets, but not everybody does it well. And we're going to talk about movies that we love that use puppets poorly. After that, we'll talk about our coming attractions. But first, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Adam has synopsis duty on this one. Before that, here's part of the trailer.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Okay, Adam, what's the story of The Mandalorian and Grogu?
All right, well, we're going to keep it kind of simple because it's actually a simple story, but Pedro Pascal is back as our favorite Mandalorian, and he's there with his ward Grogu, who I will still call Baby Yoda until the day I die. Anyways, we have the Mandalorian. He's working for the New Republic, trying to track down the rest of the Imperials who are left over after the destruction of the second Death Star. During this, he crosses paths and crosses a pair of dangerous huts, and then it's up to him and Grogu to team up and save the day.
First question I want to ask the two of you. I know what I think, but do you guys think that people should see this if they don't know the television show?
yeah, as the non-Star Wars super nerd, I would say yes. I mean, usually you have to do a lot of homework, and I don't think you do for this at all, because I do not, for the life of me, remember anything that happened by the end of whatever the last season was, and I was just fine.
Yeah, I think as long as you've seen at least the original Star Wars, so you know who, the Hutts are, and you know kind of
Yeah.
the basics of who Yoda actually is. And I don't know anyone in my life who has not at least seen them. They may not have liked them because they're weird, but they've at least seen the original Star Wars. But yeah, it gives you everything you need to know. Okay, Mando's a bounty hunter. He's hunting down the Imperials. Grogu's his little ward sidekick, and they work together as a team, and Mando takes care of him. I mean, it's the movie is very, very simple for good and for bad reasons. But yeah, that's all you need to know. And you learn that in the first 5 minutes. So I don't feel like there's any homework that would need to be done a la some of the Marvel movies where you had to have watched 4 seasons of 6 Disney shows to, catch up to know where you're supposed to be.
Along with 30 movies.
Yeah, 30 movies too, yeah.
I don't think it's totally necessary to have watched something like, The Book of Boba, where Mando does a
No.
cameo, but you definitely, in my opinion, need to have watched the shows and understand the character, because I do think it's a bit of a needle drop. It's just right in the middle of the record. You're just thrust right into a story that's kind of already in progress. And I do think having some background knowledge of Mando and Grogu is important. That being said, I think you both are right in that a newcomer could easily have this as their first Star Wars experience. Let's talk about the experience. It is so different from Andor in terms of it's not serious.
No.
It's designed to be fun. It's designed to be very light. You never really do get too deep into anything. It's a very surface level story. And I think that was by intention. Andor, on the other hand, is a very dark and very deep study of character and the inner workings of the Empire in a way that challenges you as a viewer. There's no challenge whatsoever in Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, Brooks, I know that you're not a huge Star Wars guy. You've seen a lot of it,
I
but
mean,
you're
I am, but I don't drink from the cup.
okay. I see who
You
you're looking
chose
at.
poorly.
I definitely do drink from the cup. It's very difficult for me to be objective about a Star Wars title. But what did you think, Brooks? You and I sat next to each other. We've done that a lot lately, which has been great.
I know.
But what was your take on the experience overall?
Well, I mean, I texted both of you the other night that I'd completely forgotten that Jon Favreau was co-writing and directing it. And
Yeah.
so I went in with pretty high expectations because he's Favs. He's got his hands in a lot of things, and you were hoping that it wouldn't go awry. I don't think he ever truly falters in this. There's some questionable use of CGI, at least for me. There's one character who has absolutely no reason to be CGI, and it drove me crazy every time he was on screen.
You're talking about Zeb. He's a character
Okay.
from Star Wars Rebels, an
Mhm.
animated show.
Oh, so is
And
that why he's CGI?
I'm not saying that, but he's an alien. He's non-human.
Yeah, but there's nothing they couldn't do with practical effects.
I agree. The face in particular could have been done
Hmm.
practically. The way he moves is very unlike a human, but I agree with you, Brooks. The face didn't have to be. And I think there's some other slightly janky CGI. The little personalized walker that Mando uses at the very beginning doesn't look great when it's moving around. So there are a few things that I don't think live up to the quality of the brand and the special effects expectations of Lucasfilm. But I totally agree about Jon Favreau. It's kind of impossible for him to fail completely. He's got such a good
Mm.
handle on tone and pacing and the balance of seriousness and fun. Adam, you knew it was Favreau. You went in expecting a certain type of thing. Did you get what you were looking for?
I mean, yes and no. So I think among the three of us, I have more problems with it. And talking to some friends, I seem to be one of the few people who did, who kind of questioned it. So here's my take on it: is this is a perfectly lovely summer popcorn movie, Saturday morning cartoon that you eat Cocoa Krispies to. And you already kind of brought it up that this isn't asking much from us. This is just telling a fun story. And there's nothing wrong with telling a fun story. In fact, I did have a lot of fun with this. I did enjoy it. It's not something I'm going to rush out to see again. I do recommend seeing it in IMAX. It was really incredible
Ugh.
considering it was shot for IMAX as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
that helps.
but when you look at the pedigree, like you mentioned, Jon Favreau, we know everyone who's involved in it and kind of where this character has gone. It felt less like a movie and more like just 2.5 episodes of the show. And if we were going to approach it like 2.5 episodes of the show, I'd rather just would have had a 4 episode little mini season that probably could have expanded some more and gone places. Because I was expecting there to be something in there, like maybe Ahsoka shows up or she calls him on the radio, or there's something going on. But yeah, it is very standalone. It is very in its own little universe. I mean, yeah, you of course have the New Republic there and everything, and Martin Scorsese is a Imperial for some reason. I'm still not sure, unless it was his mea culpa for saying he doesn't like Star Wars. I think I just wanted more than just a 2.5 episode show. We look at some of the other Star Wars spin-offs, and I know this isn't technically a spin-off because it's not the quote unquote a Star Wars story, but look what we got with Rogue One. I mean, and it's hard to compare because Rogue One is one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. And I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would disagree with that. But even Solo wasn't afraid to do some things different and explain the whole parsec thing from The New Hope and show how he got the Millennium Falcon and why the AI is always arguing with itself. So I feel like this one just existed in such a tight bubble that I don't know if it was Disney just being like, hey, this has to make money so we can make more of these because we haven't had a Star Wars movie in a long time. And that's kind of why they've been doing them on Disney Plus, or they wanted to sell toys. I don't know. I didn't dislike it by any means. Please don't take that away. I just feel like I didn't get what was promised.
I think those are fair observations, and I do
Mhm.
think they mirror a lot of what I'm seeing online in terms of the chatter. Look, this character, these characters, and this film is very hateable. if you are the kind of person who wakes up in the morning thinking, I'm going to hate on Star Wars today. And there are a lot of those people in the world. And this movie gives you exactly what you're looking for if you're that kind of person. I'm not calling you that, Adam, by the way. I know that's not
Oh,
you,
that's
but
not Adam.
some of the
No.
things that are being said online about the fact that it's just an extra long episode, there's no character development, it's very wooden in the performances. There's just lots of things that I hear and I think I can understand that a little bit. But one of the things I love about this movie compared to Solo, and I'm glad you brought that one up, Adam, is that it doesn't just constantly force feed fan service to you. It definitely caters to fans of these two characters, but there's not constantly dropping little Star Wars Easter eggs that you're
Mm,
supposed to enjoy. Yes, Zeb is in there, and there's a couple of other characters that you see that you think, aha. But generally speaking, it's standalone in a way that I think suits it because it's not trying to move the grand needle of the
yeah.
Star Wars canon. And I think for a story like this, that's just a one off, it's a dashed off, fun experience with characters from whom we expect that kind of thing. I think it works. And I think Favreau knew what the job description contained and he nailed the interview. What did you think, Brooks, about the practical effects? It's the point of the guilty pleasure. And this movie has a lot of it. There's quite a bit of practical, which I think really does expose the CGI as
Oh,
unnecessary. But
yeah.
don't let me speak for you. What did you think?
I think that's probably my biggest problem with some of the CGI is that, when you see the practical effects and they're being put to use and you can enjoy them for what they are. You've got see, here we go. With me not being the Star Wars nerd, I don't even know what the names of the little helper guys are. They're constantly funny,
They're
but
in Zellans.
okay. So the comedy always works whenever they're on screen. And I think that them using janky, low level puppet effects makes it work even better. The same goes with there's a scene with two robots where all of a sudden it looks, I don't know if it is stop motion that they used, but it looks like stop motion.
Yeah.
And I thought that that made the scene even more fun. For me, this whole movie, which is fitting because it's Lucasfilm, feels like the Indiana Jones edition of Star Wars.
Instead of punching Nazis, he's punching Clone War era droids.
Exactly. But it's more fun and something that the creators of the Super Mario Galaxy movie could do
Don't get
is
me started.
get their hands on this screenplay, and honestly it may not be the best screenplay, but they could really use to study it because you do have the same kind of scenarios where it's just characters winding up in like one situation after another and trying to find a way out, except in this case they have to find a way out. They find a way out on their own. It's not just, oh, we landed on this planet. What are we going to do? Let's turn around and, oh, look, there's someone conveniently with a spaceship to take us to the next level. So, as far as that goes, I think it all works very perfectly for that.
The reason I'm glad Favreau was involved is because some of the things he learned from the MCU, the things that the MCU does really well, which is balance humor with seriousness. Not every movie has both. Some movies lean more on the humor. Some movies are quite serious. And the ones that lean more on the humor leave the grand stakes for other films. And it doesn't always work in the MCU, but it works more often than it doesn't. And I think Star Wars can use a lot more of that. And this movie is kind of like an Ant-Man movie, right? It's
Yeah.
it's meant to be
Yeah.
fun. It's not meant to move, like I said, the needle of the universe, but it's meant to at least let you inhabit the world for a while and enjoy yourself there. The planets they go to, absolutely gorgeous, so well
Mm.
rendered. The one thing that Star Wars always gets right is how lived in all of their locales feel. The way that everything seems a little old and a little tired and a little run down, and the Empire stuff is too polished and too clean and too perfect by contrast. This movie has some of that too, and I think it's one of the strengths of a Star Wars film.
I do think that it's not bad to be objective because, like I said, some of the complaints I have and the concerns you said you're seeing online by the Star Wars fanboys who just want to hate on it because it's not their perfect idea of what Star Wars is in their head.
Right.
And I feel like they're going into it wanting to dislike it, whereas I went in wanting to like it. And again, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't get what I think it could have been, but it doesn't mean that anyone else is wrong for liking it. I mean, I look at Star Wars like you're at a restaurant and you've got this big menu and it's like the Cheesecake Factory menu, right? Like there's 100 items on there. And guess what? If I don't want the skinny margarita, I don't have to get the skinny margarita. I can get an old fashioned. And it's all still Star Wars. It's all still Cheesecake Factory. So yeah, it's going in and being like, hey, I want this to be good, and I did enjoy parts of it, but I don't think everything needs to have, these ginormous stakes like Rogue One did, and to a point kind of soloed it because you had to get the story of how he got everything. And I did really enjoy in this one that we don't know what's going to happen because this isn't a prequel. We don't know if they're going to get to the next round. Like, I mean, we know they're going to because it's Mandalorian and Grogu and they're popular, but no one's guaranteed safety. Some of the characters you meet that you really like, they're not guaranteed to get through it alive. And that was kind of cool and refreshing. But sometimes I want more than just an amuse-bouche of a Star Wars film. I kind of want something to sink my teeth into, and I just didn't get it with this. It was tasty and it was fluffy. It was like some nice cotton candy. But towards the end, I was really kind of running out of steam. Like, I know we mentioned before, one of my guilty pleasures was The Island. And at the end, when they go and they storm the city to free everyone, like the moment that came up, I was like, okay, cool, it's done. It's at a good point. And then it was another half hour. And I 100% felt this way about this movie. It wore out its welcome a little bit too much. It was a little bit too sickly sweet at the end to where your teeth were hurting. And again, I think that's because it felt like 2 episodes of the show, where sometimes when you're watching a show, you can take a break. Even if it's just hey, I'm going to go get a snack or something. If this episode's over, I'm going to start the new one. You get that little bit of a break, but this one just kind of it stretched too long, and it's a very distinct 3-act movie. First act's Mando, second's Grogu, the third is Mando and Grogu, and I kind of feel like the Mando and Grogu part of it should have been a separate thing. But again, it was still sweet and delicious. I still enjoyed it. I had an absolute blast when they went to Sundari to rescue someone, and it was like ripped straight out of Blade Runner. I mean, it felt like you were walking down the streets with Harrison Ford. I did love when they had the big battle in the arena. They were fighting the hologram monsters, the Djarik monsters that they play on the chessboard from the first Star Wars. So there's lots of cool little nods and Easter eggs. I just feel like maybe it was too much dessert, and I would have held back and had some tomorrow night.
There were some Easter eggs, but that wasn't the point of the movie. And that's what I was saying before.
No.
And you just said two things, Adam, one of which I'll hate forever and the other I'll love forever. The one I'll hate forever is comparing the Star Wars universe to a Cheesecake Factory.
It was the
I thought it
first
was
thing
perfect.
that came to mind because it has a huge menu.
I
And
thought it
there's
was
lots of Star
perfect
Wars.
because of that.
It's
Yes.
not perfect. And if fanboys are going to clip anything from this episode, it will be that. And
Star Wars is Cheesecake Factory. There we go.
I hate it. I hate it so much. And the thing you said that I love is when you accidentally just said Mandu, you gave them a Hollywood couple name. I love it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So Brooks, I love the score to this movie.
Oh.
Music is so important in a Star Wars movie. It's very stylish, the score.
It's probably my favorite part of the movie, aside from the little mini Grogu movie we get in them towards the middle. But is it Ludwig Göransson, right? I mean, he's been doing MCU stuff and Star Wars stuff. I'm pretty sure he scores the TV show. So he knows what he's doing with tone. One of my biggest beefs with film lately is that scores suck. It's actually one of my least favorite categories when we vote at the end of the year because nothing stands out anymore. You think back to say pre 2010 and so many movies. I mean, everything has all these big memorable scores. It's Star Wars too. Come on. But this was the first time where it kind of felt like he wanted to create different scores depending on where they were. And I feel like that worked way better than usual. And they were actually interesting and memorable. And I would want the score to listen to, where the only other score this year, and it's probably because I'm biased that I've been waiting on, is Scream 7, which hasn't been released yet, even though the movie came out in February, but apparently drops on Friday. So maybe that's some kind of weird simulation synergy happening. The score I love, the other score I've been waiting for, and they're both going to be on the same day.
I do need to correct you, Brooks. It is Ludwig Göransson, 3-time Academy Award winner.
See? That's what I mean.
Scores don't do what they used to. It's certainly
No.
changed since the golden age of Hollywood and the continuation of the golden age of Hollywood. That was John Williams. Scores are different now. They function differently, but I don't agree that they're all bad, because if you get PTA and Johnny Greenwood on a great project, I think that's pretty special. One Battle After Another being a perfect example of
Hmm.
that. So there
There
are
are
some
exceptions.
winners, but you're right that they're few and far between these
In
days.
general,
Yeah.
yes, they're very bland and just trying to get the scenes moved forward.
Well, this score was more like a soundtrack that you've never
Hmm.
heard any of the songs for.
Hmm.
And I think that's Favreau as well. You can feel his hand on the wheel with the score, and I just appreciate it so much. All right, we have indulged ourselves with this one because it's a fun topic. Let's go to scores. Adam, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, so like I said, I liked it.
Okay.
However, the qualms I have bring me to 2.5. So it was it a Star Wars movie? Yes. Was it a fun Star Wars movie? Absolutely. I just feel they could have done more with it, and some of the shortcomings left me just at the end. I kind of was bored, and I don't want to feel that way when I'm leaving a Star Wars movie. And I know lots of people loved it. I know you both loved it. I think more than I did, and I'm happy. Like I'm really glad they enjoyed that. But as much as I love Star Wars, I still feel I have the ability to step back and be objective. Even if I want to have the little cheerleader in me being like, rah rah, sis boom ray, 4 stars, I couldn't. And maybe if I watch it again, I'll have a different opinion of it. I mean, it was a great experience to see it in a movie. Like I said, IMAX, surround sound, great audience. There was no one with their phones out because, with screens, you can't do that. So it was the perfect place to see this movie, but I didn't have that perfect experience.
I can't go 4 stars either. I'm at three. And I think the difference between your 2.5 and my three is probably farther than a half a point. But I had a great time with this. It was what I was wanting, and it was actually surprising in certain ways. The middle section, the Grogu section of the film, was such a beautiful surprise. I didn't know that was coming. And it was so well done, so well paced, so adorable. I know that that word doesn't make a lot of sense when you're talking about a film, but I think it fits the character and the intent of the character, certainly. I'm just obviously the target audience for this stuff because I'm a Star Wars apologist. I always will be. I don't think this movie is perfect either. Like I said, for what it was supposed to be, everybody nails it. Favs is the person who should be given many more projects in this world. I want to see that. So I'm at 3 stars. Brooks, where are you?
So I can't be in the middle. I kind of am in a
Nope,
weird way
We
because,
don't do quarter stars.
we
well,
So
don't.
no, I'm just saying, like, I still think I liked it more than both of you, but I think it's probably because of that, I'm not a huge Star Wars nerd. People think I am. I don't know why. Have they seen what I wear and what I watch most of the time?
Yeah, they didn't
But
get the memo.
yeah, they've missed the memo somewhere. And even Missy thought it was weird that I didn't own Star Wars and bought me the trilogy at one point, and I was like, "Thanks." I was like, if I wanted it, I'd have it. She should know that for sure. So it was just kind of a weird present at one point. And then I did get sucked in when they came back and started making them again. And I bought all the toys and got sucked into that. My hyper focus went into overdrive. But as far as even like the TV shows and stuff go, Mandalorian is, I guess I could say, my jam. It's the one I like the most. It's the one that I make sure to watch. And I love Grogu slash Baby Yoda. And so I think it just pleased me more than others because it was what I wanted. So for me, I'm gonna go with the 3.5.
3.5 for Brooks, three for me, Adam.
2.5.
All right. Well, you both broke my heart in different ways during this episode.
He scored it better than you.
Yeah, but he said some stuff about not caring about Star Wars. It's going to take me a while to get over it. I told you
Not
Brooks
that I
was
don't care.
I told you Brooks was mad at me and he was going to lash out, and that just happened during that review. So we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to do our guilty pleasure, Bad Puppets edition. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to episode 52 of Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Guilty Pleasures, Bad Puppet Edition. These are movies that use puppets, not necessarily in a great way, that we love despite their flaws. I'm going to go first here. I'll be shocked if neither one of you picks this film. You have to go back to 2018,
Nope.
The Happy Time Murders.
I thought about it. We talked
I
about
thought about
it.
it too, yeah.
We did talk about it, and it was my choice from the beginning as soon as we came up with the guilty pleasure.
I
This
thought I was
is
the only one who liked it, so this makes me happy.
okay, Brooks. Are you and I back on the same page?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Welcome back.
Thank you. This movie is not good in any traditional sense of the word. If you want to know what you're in for, watch the Red Band trailer. It's still available on YouTube. You will be so grossed out by the final scene, you won't believe that you just sat through 2 minutes to get to it. But it's a very vulgar, very adult take on puppets, right? And the idea is that the puppets are real. They do their jobs on children's shows, and then they just live their lives among us in the world as adults, as terrible people, as criminals, and monsters of various sorts. And the conceit is that Melissa McCarthy and this puppet are partners, detectives, and they have to solve these murders. It's ridiculous. The catchphrase was "No sesame, all street."
Mm-hmm.
What else do you need to know?
I have always called it the adult version of the Muppets Naked Gun.
Totally. You can tell they're trying to go for like the next evolution from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it's not that. It's not nearly as good. It's not a great film, but
I mean, in its own way, it kind of is.
it's a lot of fun, and I do enjoy watching Melissa McCarthy work, especially in cop movies. She just seems to be so good at those. It was directed by
It's
Brian
Brian Hansen.
Henson of the Jim Henson
Really? I
Company.
didn't know
Brian
that.
himself did
Yes.
this. Yeah, it took him
Yes.
forever to make it too.
Yeah, I can't believe that he wasn't immediately fired as CEO of the Henson Company after he did it,
He
because
deserved a raise for even thinking about making this.
totally agree, Brooks. So mine is 2018 Happy Time Murders. Brooks, what's yours?
So there was a lot to think about, and I haven't seen it in a while, I'll be honest. I do have it on DVD, but it is Peter Jackson's 1989 classic, Meet the Feebles.
I
That
almost went with that one too.
same,
It
same.
is the grossest puppet movie you will ever see. I mean, you tried to explain Happy Time Murders. This one does some things to that movie. It would take it out back and have its way with that movie.
And the puppets are really terrible too, right? They're creepy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're well, and most of them are like full-size puppets with people inside like costumes, like going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it just kind of adds to it because they're life size and makes it even grosser and even it's like a weird version of Uncanny Valley in a way because you see them and they're out amongst humans and you're like, what is happening here? And it sets things so off kilter that you'll never look away or feel the same way after it's over.
I think we picked two classics, Adam. And if we didn't steal from you, I'm going to be really shocked. You probably picked Cats, right?
Yeah, but only if it was the special edition that we can't talk about on air. So if that version ever exists, I will buy it just because I think it's hilarious. And if you Google Cat Special Edition, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere in
Cat's
the dregs
alternate
of the
edition.
internet. Yes, exactly. So I went with a movie that I saw when I was younger and I did not like one bit. And then on repeat viewings, it has grown on me. And we didn't pick one yet, so I had to choose 1999's Muppets from Space.
Oh, man.
That one's a
I-
grower, not a shower. You do
Now
have
again,
to watch it a couple times
Yeah.
to enjoy it.
I remember I walked out of that theater and I was only, I think, 18 when I saw it. And I was like, what the heck is this? Like, it felt off. You know, I was raised on the Muppets. It didn't feel like a Muppet movie. It felt like we just dropped the Muppets in suburbia and here's their story.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about it. And then it was one of those things where I think a couple years later it was on TV and my roommate was watching it. And I was like, whatever, I'll just sit here and, you know, you couldn't play on your phone back then, kids. You had to do something. So I think I was reading a comic book or something. And I just kind of overheard something. I kind of chuckled, and then I put it down, started watching it, and it's really grown on me. It's a basic story again, like this movie was too. It's Gonzo is sad. He has a dream at the beginning that he gets kicked off the ark because he's a whatever, and whatevers aren't allowed in the ark. And he comes to find out through a talking bowl of cereal and then a sandwich later on, because it's Gonzo, of course it is, that he is an alien and he was long lost on the earth and his brethren are coming to find him. And of course we have tons of celebrity cameos. For some reason we've got Jeffrey Tambor slumming it as the bad guy, K. Edgar Singer, of course J. Edgar Hoover. They have lots of little fun jokes there. But it has all the Muppets. Gonzo gets captured, they go get him. And I fell in love with it after a while. Like, is it my favorite Muppet movie? No, it's because it's not a good movie. But there's a certain charm to it that keeps on coming back, and it's one that I enjoy checking out. So,
All right. What's the title again, Adam?
1999's Muppets from Space.
And Brooks?
1989's Peter Jackson classic, Meet the Feebles.
And mine was 2018's The Happy Time Murders. I don't think you can go wrong with any of those, but for two of them, make sure the kids aren't in the room for
Yeah.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
don't. You don't want kids around for that one. So any
No.
of those.
All right, let's do our coming attractions before we go. Brooks, why don't you go first?
I was trying to find something and then can't believe that I haven't talked about it yet because it comes out Friday. And they aren't screening it for us in classic fashion, but it's Passenger, and it's from Andre Overdahl. He did, unfortunately, The Last Voyage of the Demeters, but he did do Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Troll Hunter, which were all way better than The Last Voyage was.
Troll Hunter is so good.
Exactly.
I don't know anything about this movie. What's the deal?
I know that it has something to do with see something on the side of the road, you're stuck with it. And it just
Yeah, I saw the trailer before a couple
coming-
movies. Yeah.
it's gonna just keep coming for you. It just says 130 million people take road trips every year. 15,400 of them are never seen again, and I'm guessing this is why.
Oh, it's maybe like an evil hitchhiker or something like that.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that. Like
That sounds like a
a
Brooks movie if
passenger.
there ever was one.
Exactly.
Okay, so that
And-
opens this weekend, same weekend as Mandalorian and Grogu.
And it's Paramount. It is kind of weird that they didn't screen it. In a
I'm going to
way.
look for that trailer as soon as we sign off.
Because it'll be on streaming in 2 weeks.
It will, sadly.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And we just canceled it, so I won't get to watch it anyway.
You can borrow mine. I've got free Paramount. So
Adam, what are you looking forward to?
so mine actually is a Brooks thing too. It is an upcoming video game. And Brooks, we know how you like your Lego video games.
Only if there's a hill to fall down and get lost in Jurassic World for 2 hours.
What if you could fall off buildings? Because I'm
Do I
talking about
splat?
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Oh, yes.
So it's an open world game, much like the Arkham City games were, and it's the same kind of thing. You're Batman and you have the Bat family, and you're, fighting bad guys and solving little puzzles and everything else. But it is open world, so you can soar all over the place and ride around the Batmobile. And they've got like the 1969 Batmobile. They've got the Dark Knight Batmobile.
Rumbler.
The Rumbler, and then the fight system is very similar to the Arkham Knight game. So you have attacks. The guys will say when they're going to attack you, and you hit a button and you can parry it or dodge or do kind of fun things. It's one of the best reviewed ones that's come out there. And the one thing I do like about it is that the Lego games are known for having 5 billion collectible characters. Like you can get 5 different versions of Deadpool and 6 different versions of Yoda. This one, the only characters you get are the ones you play as. And then what you do is you get the little money things to go and buy all their different suits. So you could have, Batman v Superman suit. You can have Batman 69 or 66, whatever it is.
Oh,
So
okay.
it makes it more fun to collect stuff because I really don't care about getting 6 versions of Baby Yoda. So that comes out on Friday as well.
Mine doesn't come out on Friday. It doesn't come out until July. But it's also a video game, Adam. I am very excited about Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Yes.
Resynced.
Yes, the best one.
I'm an Assassin's Creed guy from way back, and I have not personally thoroughly enjoyed the pivot towards full-on RPG that Odyssey and Valhalla and Shadows have done. I thought Mirage was a great return to old form. I loved that game, but the other ones don't speak to me as well as the Ezio stories and the original. But Black Flag was absolutely one of my favorites, and they have completely redone it. It's got new guts, an updated fight system. I'm sure that the boat stuff is going to be even better. That was one of the highlights of that game. They were one of the first ones to get naval pirate combat right. People have been copying it for years. The first one came out in 2013, and this one is coming out on July 9th. So I'm super excited about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. What's yours again, Adam?
Mine is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And yes, that is the best Assassin's Creed. So I'm with you on that one.
Nice. And Brooks?
Passenger.
And those two things that you just mentioned open this Friday, right along with Mandalorian and Grogu. That's going to wrap it up for episode 52. We indulged ourselves a little bit talking about Star Wars. I thank you both for letting me do that. I hate you both for some of the terrible things you said about
Well, it's
Star
just
Wars.
Cheesecake Factory. I had to
It's
get
just
started.
revenge. Good
My
old-fashioned revenge.
Goodness. I may edit Adam out completely.
Adam couldn't be here for this recording.
ghosted
He was
us.
busy being a jerk.
You two go to your corners and think about what you did, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks for another episode. Until then, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald, and no one puts baby in the corner.
Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.